I'm back. And I don't just mean like I'm back to YouTube, although kind of maybe. I don't know, it's been a second since I've been on here. I don't know if I'm like fully back. I'm gonna try. YouTube is so hard. It's so much easier to just like take photos every day. So I'm gonna start this off by saying I admire Julie so much for what she did. But we'll get to that. I'm back in the country. This is not a quick story time at all, because it's not. I was gone for essentially a month and a half, and boy do I have stories to tell. In my head at first, I thought I could have vlogged this whole adventure, this whole trip. And I tried. And it didn't go so well. Like, I was kind of keeping up with the videos, or like videoing stuff and like vlogging sometimes. But it just was not going my way. I realized it wasn't for me very early. And a big part of that had to do with very early in the trip, and we'll get there. But let's start from the beginning. Let's like wheel it back like all the way to like when we left. So coming down to the end of April, me, Maya, and Julia met in Piarco International Airport and got on a plane that headed to Miami. From reaching that plane and landing in Miami, this trip already started traumatic for me. I thought I was going to be deported. I thought something was wrong. I thought like somehow someone like ripped my US visa out my passport. I didn't know what was going on. Essentially, we reach immigration and it's like maybe 2 or 3 officers out that night. And Julie goes, Maya goes, and then it's me. I had them like in front of me. So they go, I go, me, right? The same immigration officer is like checking all of us, but he is taking us one by one. So from that now, literally in the time it takes for like Maya to walk away, me walk up, and no one else has done anything, this man takes my passport, puts it into scan, watches me, and clack, 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 clack. He's typing away, he's going at it, he's on a mission typing something. And I'm like, la 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 la. Then he takes my passport out, takes it, watches me, watches the passport, puts it back down. He's typing more, he's going at it, and does this for 2 minutes. At this point now, I don't know what's going on, but I have this face of pure terror because this man hasn't said anything to me. He's just having me there, he's just holding my passport and typing away furiously. 2 minutes go by, and he screams to the other immigration officer, "Hey Roop, is your system down too?" And Roop screams back from wherever the hell Roop is, "Yeah! It looks like the entire airport system is down." 2 seconds it took me to walk up, hand this man my passport, and no one else is there. The entire system goes down. And he doesn't say anything in those 2 minutes of apparently him just like trying to restart the system. Once he says that and that gets clarified though, we're all good. So he's now talking to me, apologizing, we're cracking jokes, and I feel so much better thinking, I'm fine. Everything is fine. It's okay. We're all good. So we clear immigration, go into the airport hotel, plop down our bags, and now we're on a hunt to go to Dave and Buster's. Okay, we've made it to Miami. Julie's also vlogging. Maya's like doing makeup things.
I'm getting ready to go eat.
Yeet. I'm gonna ask Julie to steal some of her footage if she'd allow me.
Fine.
Thank you, Julie. I love you.
If you pay me.
Hey, huh.
He can buy me Dave and Buster's.
I'm never doing a photo shoot for you ever
And that's karma. Well, what about your friend for them? Whoa.
Wow.
You say that at the end of the trip, Julie, not the start. Just kidding.
That's your sister?
Yes. So. JK, Jordan, JK.
Yeah, sure.
Please take pictures for me. When you go back through all the pictures of this trip and it's only ugly pictures, you frame it.
I would say this now, because otherwise it's going to get very stale. This entire trip was like a land of like first experiences for me on a whole. This was my first time going in Dave & Buster's. So we go in Dave & Buster's, well, we tried to get an Uber, that didn't work, ended up having to take a taxi. And like he's like driving us around, telling us things. And he's like, yeah, so the Dave & Buster's is in this mall, it's a new mall, whatever, and there's a mall here and a mall there. And we're like, okay, cool, whatever. And then Julie goes, well, is this mall safe? And he just watches us like, it's a new mall. So he drops us off at the mall. We walk around, we find food. I think we went into Texas Buffalo Wild Wings or something. I can't remember the exact name. The food was okay. It was okay. There was a whole like issue with them understanding Julie trying to order a chicken sandwich. Eventually Julie had to like put on a fake accent and like, can I get a chicken sandwich? And the man's just there like, why didn't you say that all the time, after them going back and forth for like 5 minutes of her trying to do this. So we went into Dave & Buster's, had fun. I had fun. That was my first time experiencing Dave & Buster's. We got like these little octopus things. I named mine Octi. He's somewhere in the house. I think hidden in a pile of clothes since I came back. But I brought him back. I know he's here because I took him out of my bag. He made it back to Trinidad. Just somewhere. Then we went back, knocked out, and woke up and we're off again to our flight to New York. Which involved a bit of running because we have time. We're already in the airport. Just to get breakfast, right? So we stay, we get breakfast, we chill out for so long because we had time. And then we got distracted heading to the gate after maybe staying a little bit too long with breakfast. And there was like a Lego wall thing. And it was like, how many Legos tall are you, or whatever the case was. We got distracted playing with that. It was worth it though. I forgot how much Legos tall we are, but like in the moment it was worth it. So now I'm running to this gate trying to say we're here because they're on like the microphone calling for us. We're the last people to board the plane, but it's fine. We got on the plane, made it to New York, and then from making it to New York, Julie takes a meeting in the airport, and we kind of just had to like wait and vibe. Waiting for her meeting to finish so we could start our New York adventure. Our New York adventure kind of begins with us going to Ian's house, dropping our bags, and then immediately heading out. And we hit up different stores to get like stuff we needed. I go to B&H. Julia met us at some point in this process. We hang around. We go back by Ian, quickly pack our bags, and then we're off to the airport again. And that's when the long haul like really starts. I mean, granted, yeah, sure, we left Trinidad like a day ago, but now we have like a 16-hour flight to India. That flight, thankfully, was not fully booked. And because it wasn't fully booked, it meant we had space to spread out, we had space to like sleep, we had space to do whatever. But it's a 16-hour flight. 16 hours. What started off was Julie like took a side row. Maya and I hung around each other for a bit. We ended up watching the menu together, great movie. I would recommend The Menu. I loved it. It was such a good movie. Then we kind of knocked out. Some point we played Mario together on the Switch. I don't know, that whole airport ride, that whole airplane ride to India was confusing. I had no sense of day or time anymore once we were on that plane. It threw me off completely. I don't know what time it is anymore. I don't know what day it is anymore. We're still in this moving metal box on our way to India to get from India to Malaysia. So we have more flying to do still. And the Malaysia flight is 6 hours, 5 hours, something like that. My phone says 4 o'clock. I don't know if it means AM or PM. I just don't know. There's only so much I can sleep that I'm starting to get bored. We landed, and that's when it got a bit rocky. There's this funny moment where like people are like cheering, they're saying things. We don't know what they're really saying, right? Some people are like taking pictures of them. The wildness in me wanted to cheer along with them. But the wildness in me is not cheering along with people not knowing what you're saying in an airport. Because just to be on the safe side, you know, what if you were like literally trying to someone say something? I don't think they were, but like you get what I mean. Just maybe I should not be cheering when I don't know what you're saying. And now we have to check into our flight to Malaysia. This is not a long layover at all. So we go to the counter and it felt like they were taking forever, and they were just taking their sweet time, just like checking us in, checking out our stuff, trying to get the information, whatever the case may be. And then like weighing our bags, which we kind of just assumed we had a bag that we could bring on. Then learning very quickly, no, it has to be 7 kilograms, and then us having to pay and them taking forever for us to pay, and just all of that drama going down. We were so like done and fed up, and it was like it was taking up so much time. I needed to pee, and I had like an extra Dr. Pepper can like left over from the plane that the flight attendants left me. I couldn't drink that out before we crossed security. So I was just like, I'm gonna throw it away. And Julie says, no, don't throw it away, just like give it to them and see if they want it. So Julie goes up to the guy and she's like, hey, do you want this? And he's like, yeah, sure, thank you. So he takes the Dr. Pepper. This Dr. Pepper saves our lives. So we reach to security now to check our bags and all that stuff. And this line is long. Like if we stay in this line, we are not making our flight. We are going to miss it. It's just wrapping and so much people. And we like tried talking to like security officer in the back. It's like, hey, we need to get on our flight now, or we're gonna miss it. Can we like, what do we do? And they're like, nope, you just have to stay in this line. And we're like, okay. And we're just like standing up in the line. Part of me is like thinking, okay, what can we do? And like figuring, okay, how best do we navigate this situation? Meanwhile, we're just like stuck in this line. And then our homeboy, our best friend, who we gave that Dr. Pepper to, they show up. And he's like, if you stay in this line, you're not making that flight. So here's what's going to happen. You are going to beg every person in this line to cut in front of them, telling them you're going to miss your flight. And we're going to go. And he's there in this line with us, begging everybody that we could pass. And I think we probably had to beg about like 50 people to get in front of them, right? And then we go through security, and they take some time on Julie because of like nail clippers or whatever. And finally, we're all through. All three of us are through. We've made it past. We're good to go. We just have to get to the gate now. And then the gate's far. It is far. So la 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 la, we're like speed walking, I'm trying to like keep pace with everybody but still like stay in front. So, you know, if we end up missing or like we're running out of time, I could just like dart off and be like, hey, we're coming, just like 2 more, just like hold it for 2 seconds, please. Right? La 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 la, I'm going. Me in front, but not too far off, so I could always like throw my head back, watch back, see Maya and Julie. Right? And then this random guy out of nowhere, this random Indian man is like, you're going to Kuala Lumpur too, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, Air Asia? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what gate is it? And like, my boarding pass was like really handy right there. So he's kind of just asking to make sure. And I tell him the gate, and he's like, oh fuck, that's really far, we have to run. So he starts bolting. And now I'm bolting with this man, and the two of us are just like sprinting through this airport in New Delhi. And while we're sprinting, he's like talking to me. I've now essentially made best friends with this random man as we're sprinting through this airport. So we sprint for like who knows how long, and we make it, right? And we make it right before they start boarding. So he chills with me, and he kind of just like stays with me until Maya and Julie reaches, and then he kind of just like dips. So we're boarding, they're like, okay, we're gonna start boarding now. And homeboy with Dr. Pepper comes in one more time. One more time. And he's like, y'all come with me. Opens up the first class entrance and lets us onto this plane first. We're in the back of the plane. We are literally in the dead back of the plane, and this man's like, no, y'all are coming in first, y'all are coming with me. So we got onto the plane first. And then we take our flight to Malaysia, which I don't remember much of, besides like being on the flight. And I think there was like a lady who probably just got married, because I was like watching her hand and all the bangles and all that stuff. And then we reached Malaysia, got our bags, and guess who we found? To be continued. Hee hee. Yes, I'm leaving you in suspense.
X-ray bound for Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Please be seated with your seatbelt fastened to allow personnel to release the aircraft as we're ready for departure.